Hey Meeple people, and on today's vlog, we are going to play Archaeology, the new expedition by Zman Games. Let's get to it! Hey Meeple people, and hello Sarah.
Hi there.
So Sarah, what game are we playing on our vlog today?
Today we are playing Archaeology, the new expedition by Zman Games. This is a 2 to 5 player card game about digging for artifacts in the Egyptian desert. Would you like to know how to play?
Yes, please.
All right, so in this game we are attempting to accumulate these treasures here. They have different values based on the number that you play of them. So for example, if I only played one of these talisman, it would only be worth 3 points, but if I managed to play 5 of them at once, it'd actually be worth 45 points. So you're trying to accumulate the most points by the end of the game. The game is going to end when we run out of cards in this deck, and once that's happened, all players have a chance to continue playing, but sometime soon after that, players will start to pass on their turn instead of being able to do anything. And once all players have passed, then the game ends. At that point, we add up all the points, and whoever has the most wins. It's a pretty simple game mechanically. What's going to happen is on your turn, you're going to have a hand of cards. You must start by drawing a card off the top of the deck. Now, most of the cards in this deck are going to be archaeological finds like these, but sometimes there will be thieves or sandstorms, which will kind of disrupt the game. So on my turn, I start by drawing the top card of the deck here, and then I have a couple of options. I can buy items from this sort of market area over here, and the way that I do that is by spending an equal number of points from my hand. So if, for example, I wanted this talisman, if I wanted just one of these, I would have to spend 3 in order to get that. So I'm going to show you some of my cards. I could, if I want to, trade this parchment scrap and these 2 pot shards, which have a combined value of 3, so that I could pick up this talisman, and that would go to my hand. If I do that, these items are going to become part of the market that other players can pick up. And when you're purchasing things, you can purchase as much as you like, as long as you can afford it, and you can trade whatever you want for other things. So for example, if I had the talisman in my hand, since it's worth 3, I could pick up this coin and maybe one of these pot shards if I wanted to. So on your turn, what you're going to do is you're going to start by drawing a card off the top of the deck. Then if you want to, you can trade in the market here. And eventually you're going to end your turn. And you can do that in one of 2 ways. You can just pass, or you can sell things. And when you sell things, you're going to choose the number of cards that you're selling. They all have to be the same type, and you're going to place them face up, kind of off to the side of your play area. Now these will score points for you at the end of the game. You can't add to anything over here once you've played it though. So if I lay these 2 pot shards down, then at the end of the game I'll get 2 points for this. Even if I play other pot shards later, I can't add them to these pot shards. I have to form a new group, right? So this would be worth 2 and this would be worth 2. Whereas if I played all 4 of them at once, it would have actually been worth 4. So in this case, it would have been worth the same number of points, but you can't accumulate these. You have to play them, you know, all at once kind of thing. So that's pretty much it. On your turn, you can, like I said, you have to draw the top card. You can interact with the market over here. You can sell things if you want to. There are a few specialty cards. Some of the cards in this deck here are treasure maps, and they will allow us to excavate at a particular site. So in this game, we're playing with the tomb. There's a bunch of different sites that you can use. We've chosen at random to play with the tomb here. And so the way that the tomb works is that you can spend treasure maps from your hand to try to excavate in the tomb. And when you do that, you get to pick up an entire stack of these cards. You choose one stack of cards and you pick it up, you look through it, and you keep cards from that particular area, right? But in order to do that, you have to have those treasure maps. You have to spend them in order to do that. There's also a couple of other cards in here that I've mentioned previously, the Thieves and the Sandstorms. Those are both played immediately, and when you play a Thief card, you basically get to target another player and steal stuff from their hand. When you play a Sandstorm card, players are going to lose up to half of the cards in their hands unless you spend a tent, and each player only only gets one tent for the entire game. So you have to kind of be strategic about when to use your tent, because there are multiple sandstorms which will occur throughout the game, and you can only escape from one of them. So if you have a lot of cards in your hand, or you have a really good card you don't want to lose, or that kind of thing, you may want to play your tent. Otherwise, if you don't play your tent, you're going to lose half of the cards from your hand, and they're going to end up in the marketplace. So you can work on picking them back up, you know, over the next several turns or whatever, but other players may do so, or maybe it's just not worth spending your turn to reaccumulate those. That's pretty much Archaeology, the New Expedition. Should we try it, Nick?
Yeah, let's go ahead and jump into it, and we'll get back with y'all midway through the game. So yeah, see you guys then. Toodles! Welcome back, Meeple people, and hello, Sarah. So how's archaeology going?
I'm not a good archaeologist.
Oh.
Not comparatively, anyway. I've only accumulated a few broken cup pieces and some pot shards. Meanwhile, Nick over here has acquired quite a bit of wealth and splendor.
I fell through a hole, and there it all was. They call me lucky.
He has used several maps to dig through the tomb, and every time you do that, you're basically giving up 3 points, but the possibility of scoring more than 3 points by what you would get for what you find in the tomb is fairly high, especially because when you first look through the tomb, there are 2 chambers to the tomb. One has 8 cards in it, one has 7 cards in it. And you get to choose which one you look at. So Nick looked through the 8 card chamber first, and he knew that, he kind of knew what was in there. So the next several times he used map cards, he was able to dig back through that chamber of the tomb and collect treasure that he already knew.
All little
was
goodies.
there. Yeah. Meanwhile, I'm trying to accumulate expensive things, and I want a lot of them, but we were hit with a couple of like back-to-back sandstorms.
Yeah, we had all the sandstorms out already, but we had like 4 of them like back to back to back. I was like, whoa.
It was rough. And then Nick has been able to thieve from me twice, so it's not going super well over here. But I have high hopes, so we shall see.
Yep. So yeah, I really enjoyed this one. I enjoyed the little market that you've got going on, and how you can exchange to buy more things, or if someone gives up something that you're like, ooh, I really want that.
Or if like things aren't going your way, right? Like I've been trying to accumulate, I'll just tell you, I've been trying to accumulate some talisman cards, right? Now, they're worth a lot of points if you can collect quite a few of them, but it's taken me a long time to get just the little bit that I have, right? So if I'm like, you know what, this card right here is worth 3 in the market. If I like went out and bought like 3 parchment scraps, that would only be worth $3, right? Or 3 points. But if I was able to get another one somewhere down the line, then that would be worth 10 points for those 4 cards. And I would have only had to trade this and maybe one other card to get that, right? And this by itself is only worth 3 points. So right now, as it stands, if I traded this talisman for 3 parchments, it's worth the same number of points, right? Like this is 3 points and this is 3 points. So I'm not losing any points. But if I were to acquire just 1 more parchment scrap, it would automatically jump from 3 points to 10 points. So that would be great, right? Especially because it doesn't seem like these are really paying out for me. But if I can accumulate a lot of these, I can get a lot more points. And that's kind of the trick, right? When do you trade in what you have for other things, and kind of like what do you bet on, you know?
Yeah, a little push your luck and a little strategy within it. But yeah, so I really enjoyed this one. But let's go ahead and jump back into it and decide who is, and come back to y'all when there's a winner and a loser. So yeah, let's jump back into Archaeology by Zman Games. All right, see you guys in a sec. Toodles! Welcome back, Meeple people, and hello, Sarah. So, how did it end?
I am an archaeologist seeking knowledge, where Nick is seeking profits.
Whoa, throwing around accusations of my greediness.
But I think in the end, he died the richest, so...
I don't know, sir. I don't know what you're talking about. Nothing at all.
He's got quite a nice collection over there. I've just got some pots and some
some
cups
coins.
and yeah, one complete coin, but mostly it's just a couple of pots and a parchment, and that's
Pear
about
tree?
it. So yeah, I still do enjoy this game, even though I did quite poorly in this game. I think I like this one quite a bit. This is probably one of my favorite card games, where it's just cards. There's no other components or anything. It's just a card game.
Yeah.
It's probably one of my favorites.
Like I was saying during mid-game, I really like the market where you can start exchanging things. But even when you're just drawing cards, it's pretty nice to draw them and then play them. And then I was able to steal some cards away that were pretty...
Yeah, so in a 2-player game, there are 4 thieves that you'll encounter as you draw cards. Nick drew 3 of them. I only drew 1. And I had drawn mine directly after Nick had played the last card in his hand. So there was nothing for me to steal from him. So yeah, that kind of sucked.
Yeah, you hired some pretty bad thieves.
Yeah, apparently.
I guess my greed and the wealth I have were like hiring high-end thieves, which isn't probably the greatest. But yeah. So we hope you all enjoyed this vlog of Archaeology, right? Yeah.
Archaeology, the Lost Expedition.
The new expedition.
Oh, excuse me, the new expedition. So this is a 2nd edition, I believe.
Okay.
And it's a few years old at this point, but it's a fantastic game. If you like card games, I would definitely check this one out. And it seats up to 5 players, so that's nice.
If you like a game that's portable and small, and so you can bring it to any plethora of places.
Yeah, it's literally a deck of cards, and then there's a handful of these tokens, but you only ever play with one of them. So you do need a little bit of table space for this one, because you are creating that market. But for the most part,
it's market and even the cards you start acquiring. But yeah, so yeah. Well, we hope you all enjoyed this vlog. Hit that like and subscribe button so you stay up to date on all of our content, and we'll see you guys next time. So toodles.